There are many artifacts that could represent my culture, but to me, my rosary is more than just an object that does that. It also carries the core memories I've had as a child, my family's traditions, and along with those two things, it has represented my journey with God and myself. I've owned this rosary since I was 4 years old, and throughout my Catholic journey, I've been using it to pray, so I could wholeheartedly say that this rosary means a lot to me. Like me, I assume that many of you have a possession or object that means a lot to you. It could have been passed down through generation to generation. You could have bought it as a child, or you could have bought it recently. But whatever it is, that object is more than an object to you, and it represents something greater. In this presentation, I wanted to talk about the childhood memories, the family traditions, and the journey I've had with God and myself, where this rosary has played a big part in it. To start off, as I mentioned previously, I got this when I was 4 years old, and one of the first few times I brought it somewhere with me was to school. And I remember at school bragging about it to my friends because I just thought it was a cool piece of like, something cool to own. Like it was just like a prized possession. But then more importantly, I remember praying with it for the first time. I feel like that's where my journey with God or my journey with Catholicism really started. To continue, when I was choosing my artifact, my rosary, I realized that before me, it meant a lot to my mom, and before her, it meant a lot to my grandma. It was passed down from my mom, and before it was mine, she would catch me playing with it sometimes because I would just like wear like a necklace. I would like use like a lasso. I would just like play with it. I was a kid, and she was just worried that I would break it, so she used to get mad at me. But then she passed it down to me when I kept begging. But I feel like she passed it down because she realized like it was my turn to start my journey with God. And obviously, it held a lot of sentimental value. But in the end, this rosary has helped me grow as a person and helped me grow my relationship with God. I would use it for prayer all the time at school or at church or with my family. A lot with my grandma when she used to be around more often. I remember she would ask me to pray, and I would grab my rosary and pray with her. And I feel like this rosary and those prayer sessions help me stay faithful and practice all of God's values. So basically, just being a good person, helping those around me, or maybe just doing the small things like picking up trash, like just kind, helpful, heartful things. Um, I like to credit God for all the opportunities He has given me and all the things He has given me. And I feel like my rosary has helped me grow as a person where I realize like things are greater than me, I have to be the bigger person and stuff along those lines. And in conclusion, this rosary holds a lot of meaning to me, and it's just not a cultural artifact, but it's just a representation of my childhood, my family traditions, and it's just a direct representation of my journey with God and along with my growth as a person. And I would like to end off with a memorable ending, where when I was a child, I used to get into fights with my mom a lot. And there was this time where we had a big fight, and I just had this whole screaming match with my mom. And I remember storming into my room and shutting the door really hard. And I remember just looking at my desk and seeing my rosary. It just made me realize like I need to be a better person. I need to follow what I learned on this journey. And it helped me build up the courage to say sorry to my mom, which is something that I always struggled with. So yeah, I like to credit this rosary for helping me grow as a person. Thank you for listening.